This episode of Super Boothers is brought to you by PB Backdrops. Get anything you need for your photo booth business, like featherless boas, custom pillow cover backdrops, retractable banners, and much more. Visit their website at pbbackdrops.com and use promo code SuperBoothers10 at checkout for 10% off. Hello and welcome to Super Boothers. My name is Ryan.
And I'm Ismail.
Are you? Sometimes I'm like, I wake up and I'm like, where am I? Who am I?
Well, that's pretty, you should get that looked into. That's pretty weird.
No, like seriously, like I have been at hotels. See, I haven't been home in like 4 weeks. It's like, when is this going to stop?
I mean, you're having fun too. It's not like, let's not make it seem like, oh no, my life is terrible.
Well, no, this is the thing. So I had a conversation with one of my good friends yesterday about this, how we have one friend that like seriously stays at home, doesn't go anywhere, no kids, no nothing, just chooses
Netflix and chill.
Yeah, all day. Like go to work, pick up whatever food on the way home, come home, catch up on literally everything on Netflix, and that's it. This is the thing is, and I really think I don't travel enough. Does that sound weird?
What? Yeah, it does sound a little weird.
I really feel like, well, and actually funny enough, as I was watching Netflix, there was this one show. It's essentially about like everything that goes into planes. And it's about like, what it takes to get a plane up in the air and the manufacturers and, the food service. And literally there's so many things that happen just to get a plane off the ground. It's such an interesting, like little program, and I'll probably post it so everyone can watch it because it's just seriously amazing.
And before you move on from that just reminded me of something I heard of recently. This guy wrote this book, something about something about thanking people. And the whole book is about...
Thank you, Brian Ginsberg.
The whole book is about this guy thanking everyone involved in his daily cup of coffee. And it's amazing how you're talking about planes, right? But even your cup of coffee, he's talking about the server, the owner of the store, the people that make the beans, the people who make the roads that the truck drivers drive over to bring. Like for every product out there, there's an army behind it that makes it a reality. It's crazy.
Well, and the level of safety that goes into planes is just insane. Like every 6 years on an Airbus 380, they completely strip it down to reveal like every little minute crack. And they make sure that it's fixed, because if something like that cracks in air, we have a big problem.
Sounds like you watch a lot of Netflix. Are you sure you weren't confusing this person for yourself?
I was on a trip and I downloaded it and I watched it, and now I'm just a little bit obsessed. But anyways, this is my point is, for example, this friend that we have, literally that's his life. And they're just very happy and content, and that's fine. That works for them. For me, whenever like I travel, yes, I'm there for work. Yes, I have a lot to do, but I always make sure that at some point in time, I'm going to like venture off and like do something like whatever is popular in that city. So for example, I went to Portland. First immediate opportunity that I had, I wanted to go to Multnomah Falls because I wanted that picture with the stupid waterfall. First thing I did whenever I went to San Francisco, went to the Golden Gate Bridge to get a little selfie. I mean, it's just kind of like, I just always want to make sure that I'm at least doing something in the city that I'm in that's entirely not work related. Not only, this is the thing is like, that's like the kind of thing that like keeps me like a little bit sane,
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, it's also all relative too, where like if I look at you, I feel like, wow, I'm not traveling enough myself.
Yeah.
But then if I look at all my other friends and peers, they think I'm traveling a lot.
Yeah.
So it's all relative.
For sure. So like, that's the thing is the way how I see it as we have this gigantic open world. I haven't been everywhere, but it's on my list. And what I love about my job is that I'm able to do that. Like my job is like my vehicle to travel. Like it's what I like enjoy doing. And the fact that I can do both at the same time is just like, I'm just so incredibly grateful. But like
I was going to say on that note, I'm this is probably the last episode we're recording today, and I'm traveling to the Cayman Islands tomorrow morning. And I was thinking,
Lovely.
Very lovely. I was thinking about this too, right? We should all have a certain level of gratitude and being grateful for what photo booths allows, right? Photo booth, what it's brought to you, brought to your family, like you can travel the world, like you said, for work because of photo booth industry. And the same thing with me when I go to the Cayman Islands tomorrow and I'm relaxing. Like this is the dream that a lot of people have, but don't know how to achieve it. And a lot of us, thankfully have gotten to the point where we can do these things. And it's just helpful to have a bit of gratitude in your life. And when I'm sitting on the beach tomorrow, sipping my pina colada, I'm going to be thinking about, man, photo booths have been good to me.
Right? No, like that's the thing is I really feel that I don't travel enough, which is just now that I think about how stupid that sounds. But at the same time, like there's a lot of places I've yet to go that I like desperately want to go. Like for the average person, I would say you need to go somewhere that you have never been at least once a year. And that is absolutely attainable for everyone. I am lucky that I have been to easily 15 places this year that I have never been before.
The list never ends. And one place I've always wanted to go to that I haven't gotten to yet is Japan. I don't know how many people we have in Japan that's listening, but, hit me up, send us a message, get in the Facebook group and let me know. I would love to find a reason to go to Japan.
For sure. Like that's another thing. So I don't know about you. Are you committed to BoothCon?
I am not committed to BoothCon yet.
Yet. This is how I got. So I was texting your wife. Did she tell you this?
No, I think you bother her every day. So, she just kind of stopped telling me.
Okay. So I was texting Ismail's wife, and this was hysterical. And funny enough, Ismail haven't seen each other since March, right?
Yeah, time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, no, it's totally been a while. So the funny story was, she sends me a text message and she's like, I miss you. I was like, I miss you too. She goes, I miss touring because we were going somewhere at least once a month.
Yeah, I think at a certain point it was more than once a month. It was crazy.
Yeah, for sure. So I text her. Actually, I'm going to pull this up. I need to pull the receipts because this is just hysterical.
Oh my God, you and your receipts.
I want to make sure I get this right.
Don't we have a topic to discuss here? What are we doing?
Yes, we do, and I will get to it shortly when I am good and ready. Oh, okay. So actually this started with me. So I texted her and I said, remember when you used to be fun? And then she sent me a gif of like a guy just like being surprised, I guess. And then I was like, hey, let's con Ismail into going into Australia. And she goes, LMAO. She goes, it's been months. We haven't seen each other. She goes, I miss touring. That's the thing is, I forgot where I was fucking going with this.
What is going on that you're reading my wife's text messages live on the show? This is not right.
Hold on, stop. I can't find it. The point of it is, it was just like, do you remember when the days were easy when we could just con Ismail into going into Australia? And then life was just so much simpler back then. But I'm excited.
I smartened up. No more.
Well, easy there because you're going to the Grand Cayman Islands tomorrow because of your wife. So pretty sure she still is the neck of that family.
Hashtag happy wife, happy life.
Or hashtag it's cheaper to keep her. So anyways, I am happy to say that I will be going somewhere new this January, and I will be going to Melbourne in Australia, January 15th and 16th. Hopefully Ismail will join me.
I will decide probably last minute. I would love to go. I think I had a great time in Sydney, and Justin does a great job out there. There's a lot of really cool boothers down there. So I would love to go.
So anyways.
But what are we here to discuss, Ryan? Let's get to business.
So we're here to discuss a little Facebook group message that kind of popped up. And it was from Bradley Dixon. And he wrote, I would do an impression, but I really can't today. I don't have that time for that accent. He wrote, hey friends, I'm booking returning holiday clients again for this year. First of all, this is a little side note. You should be filling up your Christmas calendar right now. Like this is the time to be doing it. So you need to be reaching out to everyone that you did their Christmas party last year because hopefully they'll book again this year. Anyways, he goes, I have since doubled my prices. Yay on all fronts, right? But before I run into headfirst into the bookings, would you honor the price from last year or stick to my current pricing? Maybe something entirely different. Let's discuss.
Before you continue, I just want to note the fact that my comment in this thread got more likes than yours. I just want to make that very clear to the audience. Please proceed.
Well, first of all, you liked yourself, so that doesn't count.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. So anyways, this was my thing is if the client has been with you from the beginning, there is something to have. It's kind of like you need to appreciate everyone that like trusted you in the beginning when you had no portfolio, when you had no, proven track record. The people that take a chance on you, there's something to be said for that.
Oh.
So it's my thing is, what?
I'm torn because I'm usually the nice guy, right? But
I am so heartfelt.
You're the one that wants to build a McDonald's across the street and crush.
I would. That has nothing to do with my client. That's my business partner.
But there's this concept, right? What got you here won't get you there. So I definitely, I personally do practice what you say, where I try to keep my loyal customers with me. But if he is able to double his pricing, right? He can book a new client and make the same money for less work as two older clients. So I don't know if he's really trying to make this big shift in his business. Maybe I don't know if it's true, but maybe holding on to these older, cheaper clientele may weigh you down and slow you down. Are you shocked to hear me say that, Ryan?
A little bit. I mean, that's the thing. There's a thing about firing clients. So my thing here is if there is someone that is, you know what? You did stuff from them in the beginning. They're still staying small and you're getting bigger and you need to move on to bigger, better things. That's fine. I would most likely put them with someone that's a little bit, I guess, more suited to their needs.
And this is not a common situation where, it's not every day people double their rates 1 year to the next. So I don't think this applies to everybody. Generally, what I do is I increase my rates. And when that happens, I also increase it for my older clients, but not as much. Does that make sense? So they also get a bit of a rate increase, but I let them know that, hey, I'm increasing my rates. This is my new rate, but because you're a loyal customer, you get this preferred rate. So it's still a little higher, but it's better than what everyone else is getting.
And that's the thing is I think that in the past, what I've done is I have discontinued the product that they were using before and, reintroducing them to a new product, if that makes any sense. So that would inherently come with a price increase. So that could kind of solve your problem, I guess.
No, that's actually something that really came up in the thread as well. That was a great suggestion where you kind of are guiding them into paying the higher price, but they're basically, you're kind of tricking them. It's a Jedi mind trick where they feel the higher price is justified because it's a new product. You stopped having the older product.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you want this new product, this is the new rate, right? So either you pay it or I don't have the old product anymore and you have to go somewhere else. So you kind of got it.
I like that. Direction. It's just in the spirit of moving things forward.
And I think that's what Bradley, at the end of this thread, it's really cool actually, seeing people coming to the Facebook group with these issues and then by the end it's resolved. And seeing the progression of the conversation
in 30 minutes,
and seeing the person who asked,
just like an episode of Full House.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. So people who haven't yet joined the group, you better get in there. It's facebook.com/groups/superboothers, and I'm sure we'll have a link in the show notes. We're helping people in there, and it's really a point of pride where other people are jumping in and helping solve the problem. It's not just me and Ryan responding. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, I think that's the outcome Bradley decided to go with, where he's increasing the rate, but positioning it as a newer, more valuable service, and then discontinuing the old booth.
So that's another thing is, so I guess Jessie replied to this comment and I'll read it out. She goes, I recently went through this. I increased my pricing this year, depending on how much business the client has brought me, meaning their events and referrals for other clients that have booked. I've kept the same price or increased it a bit, but for new products and services, I've increased the price more. Now they have the option to do something new, but for a higher price, which some clients find is worth the extra money. So Bradley's response was, "Oh, I love this idea. This makes total sense when it comes to addressing value versus going into a potentially snooze-worthy and useless defense about why my pricing increased. Keeping it positive by offering the new booth option at the current price, but also giving them the option to stay with what they had last year for a slight increase. Genius. I'm glad I asked this group. Thank you, Jesse." So this is the thing is, the worst thing that you could possibly do is have to defend your new pricing. Because the email thread is going to go like this. They're going to say, well, why do we have to pay this much whenever it was this much last year? And if it is literally apples to apples, they're getting the exact same thing, only like the year change on, their layout or whatever. It's so hard to defend the pricing. And you're just going to turn people off by doing that. So you kind of have to think of like a little loop around to justify or provide value for whatever this New Year's pricing is. Whatever. You know what? This year we're doing, gifts and boomerangs. Well, actually, you probably can't get away with that for this year. But anyways, you kind of get what I'm saying.
I mean, this is also a huge thing. It's a common thing that everyone deals with. It's not a unique problem. Raising prices and how to do it in the most tactful way. And I find it interesting because even my barber was kind of picking my brain on how he can do it because he tried to increase it last year. People got upset. And he changed his pricing back because it was hard to justify it. And then you see companies like Amazon increasing their Prime subscription and Netflix increased their by $1 a month. And people still complain. And I'm like, bro, it's $1 a month. And they have all these new shows that they didn't have before. So even in cases where it's so easy to justify a minor price increase,
for sure,
there's still going to be people that are unhappy, right? So there's nothing you can do about that. I think the real way to look at it is the increase in revenue that you get, even though some people may even be upset, you're still winning in the long run because the additional revenue is going to offset any potential unhappy clients or people that leave you. So you win in the end and do less
here's
work.
Also, I guess another thing to consider is also the market that you're in. One of my friends had a delivery fee. So yes, you would get whatever rate, and then you would get, whatever delivery fee added on top of that. It got to the point where people were like screaming with torches, threatening to burn down the office because of the stupid delivery fee. No one else was charging this delivery fee anymore. So you kind of had to get rid of the delivery fee in order to retain the business. Granted, this happened in a smaller market, which I'm sure if you're listening to this, the chances of, you being in a smaller market is like, 60-40.
Yeah. I mean, it's, I think the best example is what I mentioned with Netflix, where it went up $1. It went up $1, and there's all this social media firestorm of people complaining. And I'm like, I just have a hard time relating to people that if you don't see the value there, like there's nothing you can do as Netflix to keep that client, right? If they're going to leave over $1, even though you have all this new content that you've added to the platform.
Probably my grandfather that started the social media uproar.
He tweets a lot. I've seen him. Yeah.
He actually can text emojis now.
Oh, that's a step up right there.
Not really, because he's sending me some emojis. Anyways, continue.
I mean, it's kind of, I'll leave it with the same advice I gave my barber, where I said, you can't be afraid.
Shut up and just cut my hair.
I was encouraging him to raise his rates because that's the only way he can make more money. He's already fully booked. He's got client. Like the only thing that he can do is raise his rates. But he's like, but I tried it. People are upset. They ask me why. And I'm like, dude, run the numbers. Even if you increase your rate by 20%, which is only a couple bucks, and 10% people leave, you still win in the long run. You make more money and you have to do less work. So the important thing is the mental toughness, right? And the mindset of not being discouraged as soon as someone, questions you or pushes back.
It's literally the definition of supply and demand. Like it's literally what it is. Like if you can only supply so much and the demand is so high, you have no choice but to raise your rates. Like that's how this works. Thank you so much for joining us. Please don't forget to join our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/superboothers. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you next week.